In this video, we are going to see how to reverse a string in C. There are basically three main ways in which we can reverse a string. The first way is to simply transfer the reverse of a string to another string. So here in this program, I have a string, let's say str. The contents are let be A, B, C, D, E. I want to transfer the reverse of this in str2. So I use a for loop and I start the iteration from very last element of str, and for each last element in str I add it from starting of str2. This is the condition responsible for start in str2. Once the for loop is done, once we finish iterating the string, then I print the reverse, which is str2. Let's try this. So the reverse is edcba. If I take another string, let's say ask me, so it gets reversed. This is the first way. The next way is to use an inbuilt function strrev, which is included in the header file string.h. Since I'm using Windows subsystem for Linux, which is WSL, this function is not available. That said, strrev is not available in Linux functions, but otherwise if you're not using Linux, then you can use the strrev function. Just you have to create a string. Let's say you have created a string str, then you have to pass the string as the only parameter for this function, and so the string gets reversed. So as said, this won't work in my system, so this is not provided in Linux. The third prominent way is using stacks. It is a good way of reversing a string. Since we are using C programming language, the stack is not inbuilt, so I'm implementing stacks using array. So I've assumed the maximum possible size of stack to be 50. You can assume it to be 100, 200 depending on your choice. And stack has two functions. Push means to insert an element into the stack, and another function named pop to remove an element from the stack. Now one thing you have to remember is stack follows a property of LIFO, that means last in first out. So if an element enters the stack last, it will be the first one to pop out. So using this we can reverse the string. So here I've taken a string, sample string str is equal to abcde, and I've iterated starting from its first position to the last position and pushed each and every element, every character to the stack. Now I have taken another string, let's say rev, and initialized to none. Now using the same for loop, iterating through iterating length of the string times, I've first assigned the element in the stack at index top and then use the pop function. So what happens is when we use pop function, the top value gets decremented. Since we cannot delete an element C, so I've just simply decremented. That means I said that we cannot delete a particular position in an array, so I've just decremented the value. So for each character I have first assigned reverse a particular position, a stack of top, and then use the pop function. Once top reaches -1, this stops. and that means the stack becomes empty again, as top is -1 initially as well. Now when I print the reverse, we get the reverse. Let's execute this program. Yes, so here my sample string was ABCDE, and hence the reverse would be EBCDA. If I use perfect, now let's see the output, and yes, it is exactly the reverse of perfect. This is all about reversing a string in C.